Friday night in the French capital, and under clear skies, the tennis continues as we head towards the end of week one. Hello and welcome to Night and Day at Roland-Garros. It's been another busy day on the clay courts of Paris. So here for you is a little bit of what's on its way on this evening's show. Djokovic's quest for Grand Slam title 23 continues. Sabalenka makes the second week in Paris for the first time. And Philippe Chatrier all set to take centre stage. And the men who'll be taking centre stage, they'll be walking out in around 20 minutes from now, is the Canadian Denis Shapovalov, and then this man here. Now, look out for him. You've got to look for the white baseball cap, and then you will find the world number one, the 20-year-old Carlos Alcaraz. Now, he arrived at 1:39 this afternoon in preparation for this evening, and he was accompanied by his team. We're going to get to the completed matches very shortly, but a lot of tennis to keep an eye on for us during the show. And we start with Court Simone Mathieu, where Lorenzo Musetti is up against Cameron Norrie. Norrie, the slightly higher ranked, to the 2 at 14 to the 17 of Musetti. And the Italian was flawless through the first two sets. Now, he is yet to drop a set at these championships, but Norrie has said in the past it takes him about an hour and a half or so, and then he really gets into the match. He can hang tough, physically so strong. So it's going to be interesting to see how that third set develops. And we will, of course, keep an eye on it throughout the course of the show. And another match we'll be checking in on is Diego Schwartzman against Stefanos Tsitsipas, with Tsitsipas a set to the good. But let's look through some of the completed matches from the day. And we're going to stay in the men's draw. And we're going to start with the two-time Roland-Garros champion, Novak Djokovic. Wasn't too happy at the second set, but he said it was because it was so important to win that second set, and looking to book his place as he did in the Roland-Garros round of 16 for the 14th consecutive year. Two-time champion, yet to drop a set. First time since 2018, though, he hasn't been the top seed here, but his stats are amazing. It's the 17th consecutive Grand Slam win for Djokovic. A nice embrace with Alejandro Davidovich Fokina. 24 consecutive sets won, and he's now won 40 from 31 slam sets in 2023. And here's what he had to say on court.
Of course, win is a win. Maybe a little bit too much, you know. The first two sets, 3 hours. Honestly, I thought, you know, if I would lose the second set, we'd probably play 5 hours today. But you have to be ready. I guess that's what Grand Slam is all about. Best of 5, you know, these kind of matches, playing on the slowest surface in sport. So, you know, it takes a lot of effort, but we all have to, you know, believe in ourselves and try to make the most out of it. So I'm proud of the performance today, for sure.
It wasn't to be for Andrei Rublev, the 7th seed and the Monte Carlo champion. He had a 2-sets-to-love lead against world number 48, the Italian Lorenzo Sonego. But it would be Sonego who said he played some of the tennis of his life for his first comeback from 2-sets-to-love down. It's his first top 10 win at a Grand Slam. It's his first top 10 win on clay since Rome 2021, when he beat Andrei Rublev. It's his second time in the Roland-Garros round of 16. In the live rankings from Sonego, he is up to 39 in the world. What a performance from the Italian. He hung on in there. He turned it round. He got the win. Look at the pure delight on his face. And as you can imagine, he was a very happy man when he came into press.
I played, I think, my best tennis this year, and yeah, was a lot of things in my mind, but I try to stay focused every point and enjoy the moment and stay with the crowd. Helped me a lot during the match, and I think I play my best tennis.
And in the round of 16, Lorenzo Sonego will be facing the 11th seed Karen Khachanov. As high as number 8 in the world in 2019, he was up against the Australian wildcard Thanasi Kokkinakis. You saw how the match ended with both men on their backs on the clay, but the smile was reserved for the Russian. He's reached the 4th round for the 6th time in 7 years. He has, Khachanov, more wins here than at any other slam. The first Grand Slam quarter-final here was in 2019. He's now made the second week of the last 4 slams. And he was speaking about his Roland-Garros memories when he had a chat on court after the win.
Yeah, it's true. To be honest, I've said many times, this is one of my favorite Grand Slam growing up, you know, seeing as a kid, Rafa, 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 Rafa. I mean, I don't have enough fingers, you know. And I always wanted to win here, to play good. So that's why, you know, the last, I don't know how many years, I've been playing 4th round, 1-time quarterfinals. So I really enjoy playing in Paris. I won in Paris-Bercy. So yeah, there is a special connection.
We all have a lot of Rafa memories, and what a story is developing at these championships for the qualifier Sebastian Offner from Austria, coming through against the experienced Fabio Fognini, 27 years of age. His first Grand Slam round of 16, quarterfinal, qualified for Roland-Garros, for the 2nd time this year. And his stats this year, Offner, he's won 38 matches, lost 15. He's reached 4 Challenger finals, and he will make his top 100 debut with this 3rd round win that books his place in the round of 16. What a lovely story developing for this 27-year-old from Austria, Sebastian Offner. There was shock and there was delight from the Austrian fans. He is through to the round of 16. Entertainment has begun on Philippe Chatrier. People have bought jumpers and blankets this evening because there's a bit of a chill in the air. But as I said, the skies have been clear and the sun has been shining. And it definitely was earlier today when Aryna Sabalenka, who is the world number 2, she's the Australian Open champion in her 6th appearance, came through in just over an hour against Kamila Rakimova. And would you believe it's the first time that Sabalenka has made it through to the 2nd week of Roland-Garros. She does still have a chance of becoming world number 1, yet to drop a set. She looks so assured out there. She said that winning the Australian Open has given her a lot of belief in these tournaments. A 32nd win of the season for Sabalenka. 82% of first serve points won. It was a very, very good performance from Aryna Sabalenka, who had this to say when she spoke on court.
Just to hear.
I don't know. I think every tournament is a different tournament, especially Roland-Garros. It's completely different to Australia Open, different surface. And I mean, it's really good to have Grand Slam in your pocket. It's give you so much belief in these tournaments. And yeah, every time on the court, I'm just trying to show my best and play my best and hopefully do well here in Paris.
Yeah.
There was an upset to start the day on Philippe Chatrier. It was the 3rd seed, Jessica Pegula, who would fall comfortably in straight sets to the 28th seed, Elise Mertens, who is such a tough player to beat, especially on this surface. But saying that, Mertens was 0-7 against top 3 players at Grand Slam before this match. She did, though, have the head-to-head against Pegula, having won the previous 2 matches and those 2 previous matches coming on clay. She is yet to drop a set, the Belgian. She's in her 7th main draw appearance here. She lost in the round of 16 last year to Coco Gauff, and it was her 6th career top 5 win. What a performance from Mertens, who went on to win the doubles. So double delight from Mertens on day 6, who came in a little bit later due to that doubles to her post-match press conference.
I feel very happy. It was a good day at the office. I mean, I played an incredible first set, and of course I knew that she was, you know, going to come back. She's a great competitor, a great player and fighter. So, you know, I think the game from 4-3 to 5-3 was crucial to get that one and to get the win. So yeah, I mean, the confidence was there today. So happy about my level.
The first player into the round of 16 was the 8th seed, Daria Kasatkina, just 55 minutes on the clock. She of the tweener fame. If you haven't seen it from these championships, check back on the Roland-Garros social media. She's the 9th seed here. She is yet to drop a set. Now, this is her 29th Grand Slam appearance. She was up against the American Peyton Stearns. Now, this time last year, Daria Kasatkina was 20 in the world. I mentioned here, she is in the top 10. She is the 9th seed. It's her 5th time in the 2nd week of a slam, and dropping just 1 game to move through very, very comfortably to the round of 16, to be the first player into the round of 16. Daria Kasatkina coming into some very good form at the right time on her favourite surface. She will face Alina Svitolina in the round of 16, but before that, let's hear Kasatkina's thoughts post-match.
played a very good match. At the beginning, she was also, I saw that she was a bit tight, so yeah, it happens. And after this moment, I just realized I just know exactly what I have to do. And happens sometimes that the match goes one way, but I think the level was pretty high, and I'm just happy that I could able to close the match and to take all my chances.
So Kasatkina against Svitolina in the round of 16. Svitolina in on a protected ranking, reaching her first Grand Slam round of 16 since the US Open in 2021, and the first time since becoming a mum. Now, this was a rematch with Anna Blinkova of last week's Strasbourg final. Same result, although this time it did take Svitolina an extra set to get the job done. It was a very special match point. It was her third match point. She was made to work very, very hard. The defense of Svitolina, the way she hung on in these points, you could see the packed crowd, the stretch, the reach, and the winner. Unbelievable stuff from Svitolina, down on her knees following that. It's the first round of 16 since 2020 here at Roland-Garros. The thumbs up to the team. Husband Gaël Monfils watching on, absolutely delighted. She said she had zero expectations when she came into Roland-Garros. And look at what she's doing. A very happy box, a very assured performance. And it's going to be a very interesting matchup with Daria Kasatkina in the round of 16. And finally, for now, Sloane Stephens moving along very, very quietly. Runner-up here in 2018, but getting the win over Yulia Putintseva. A very comfortable first set. She had to come from a breakdown in the second and then was able to stamp her mark on the third set. She is so good and so natural when she is sliding around on the clay. That's her 35th Roland-Garros win. She's already said early in the tournament that this is her favourite tournament, her favourite courts. 4 singles players, female players, in the third round from the USA, but she is the first through to the round of 16. The other 3 play tomorrow, so congratulations to Sloane Stephens. Now, we have been spoilt for choice when it comes to moments of this year's championships, and today we've gone for not 1 but 2 points, and please pay very special attention to the first of the 2 points. Did you see or hear on that first point? It was a string that broke on the racket of Kokkinakis. It continued for 3 more shots, and that wonderful flick to go on and win the point. And then obviously the follow-up point was the second match point for the Russian that took him through to the round of 16. Now, a little bit earlier, we saw the arrival of Carlos Alcaraz, the world #1, mention that he would be taking on this man, Denis Shapovalov, who arrived a little bit after Alcaraz, and he was in the gym at 5:45, just getting him. He likes to have a chat, does Denis Shapovalov, so he's warming himself up, get everything going before he headed out for practice, which we are going to see a little bit later. I'm not sure my arms could do that, but he's getting himself loose and he's getting himself ready. So more to come on the night session a little bit later, but we've been bringing you live action throughout the course of the show, and it is back to court Simone Mathieu, and what a performance from this young man, Lorenzo Musetti. He's defeated the 14th seed Cameron Norrie. It looks like he can't believe it. Some exceptional tennis, flawless through those first 2 sets. It was a little bit tighter in the third, but for Musetti, a wonderful run into the round of 16, and yet to drop a set. Yet to drop a set through to the round of 16, and that is what it meant to the Italian, who joins Lorenzo Sonego with Fabio Fognini losing, so the 2 Italians through to the round of 16 in the men's draw, and congratulations to him. Now, at the start of the tournament, before it began, there is a media day, and we were lucky enough to have access to a handful of players. They didn't know what to expect when they walked through the door. We put some questions to them, and before we put the questions to them, we said you must answer truthfully. And here are some of the results.
I have never.
Okay.
I have. Because, you know, sometimes you're tired, you don't want to go.
I have, definitely. Not recently, I would say, but younger, you know. Sometimes you go to some practice or gym session and you're like, why am I doing this? Why I need to go? And
yeah, I have, but I think the days that you don't want to go and you go are the days that end up being the best. So I always go. I never like cancel a practice because I didn't want to go.
Oh yes, these are quite fun. Once was in the Caribbean.
No, lost, no, never. Or some bags look alike and you may have picked the wrong one. That happened to me not a long time ago.
I've never lost it, that's for sure.
Probably the most frustrating feeling when someone else takes your bag.
That wonderful sight high above Philippe Chatrian. The roof has been open all week because the weather has been so nice. Now, the crowd continue to gather. You've probably seen the numbers increase throughout the course of this show. That is because the countdown is well and truly on ahead of the start of the weekend's night session. And this is what we have to look forward to, a first appearance in this year's night sessions for both Carlos Alcaraz, the world #1, just 20 years of age, and he'll be taking on the 24-year-old from Canada, Denis Shapovalov, and it's actually a first meeting between the two. So we saw Carlos Alcaraz arrive just before 4 o'clock this afternoon. Then he headed out onto court 2 at 5 o'clock for training. Now, last year he got to the quarterfinals at Roland-Garros. There were a lot of new things for Carlos Alcaraz in 2022, including people starting to get to know him as he made his mark. And boy, did he make his mark last year. Absolutely unstoppable. Feels so comfortable at home, being world #1, becoming a Grand Slam champion. And listen to a few of his numbers for this year. So 2023 was 132 and lost 3. Denis Shapovalov, now he was on court 2, but that was at 6 o'clock, so he came out a little bit later. I don't think they crossed over. I think Alcaraz was off about 15 minutes before Shapovalov arrived. He's the 26th seed. Now his record is 11 and 29 against top 10 opponents. He's 1-6 on the clay. He did beat, you will remember, Nadal in Rome in 2022. He's 0-8 against #1s, which he'll be hoping to change this evening. And Roland-Garros is the only slam that he hasn't reached the quarterfinals of. So he'll be hoping that things change for him this evening when they come out on court. A little bit breezy, it's a little bit cooler. Who's going to prefer the conditions? We talk about the live tennis, so let's get back to some live tennis. You've seen during the course of this show Lorenzo Musetti book his place in the round of 16. Here is Stefanos Tsitsipas. He raced through the first set against Diego Schwartzman. He's been getting stronger and stronger each round, Tsitsipas. And here he is, just closing things out for 5-2 in the second set. His movement around the court, Tsitsipas. Again, the first round, he didn't look as comfortable, but a wonderful drop shot there against Diego Schwartzman. Credit to Diego Schwartzman for being in the third round. Some great results. Hasn't had the best of seasons. So some really good performances from him. But at the moment, Stefanos Tsitsipas over on court, Susan Longland, just looking too strong for the man from Argentina. We'll keep an eye on that, and then you can follow it on the Roland-Garros social media channels. Now to tomorrow, Saturday. Maybe you've got the day off work, maybe you're coming to Roland-Garros. This is what we have in store for you, starting with Philippe Chatrian, another lovely day weather-wise. 11:45 start with the Wimbledon champion against Sara Sorribes Tormo. Then Holger Rune, who's only playing his second match because he had the walkover against Gael Monfils, and the 22-year-old world #1 Iga Świątek. And the night session, his second night session, Sasha Zverev against Francis Tiafoe. Tiafoe, the 12th seed. Susan Longland, Casper Ruud opens things up there, which he's already done once this week. Then a match that stands out, Mira Andreeva, this 16-year-old qualifier who wants 25 Grand Slam titles in her career, up against last year's finalist in Coco Gauff. Then Taylor Fritz, who was shushing the French crowd the other night, but signing loads of autographs today. So I think all is forgiven. And wrapping things up there will be Ons Jabeur. And then finally, if we take a look at court, Simone Mathieu. Yoshihito Nishioka starts up proceedings there. Then Beatrice Haddad-Meyer, who's with Victoria Azarenka, I believe, in the doubles. Then Bianca Andreescu, who fought so hard against Victoria Azarenka to make her way through. Then Daniel Altmaier, who came through that mammoth match with Yannick Sinner, takes on Grigor Dimitrov. Now to the nighttime channel, and what perfect timing as the balls are introduced. It's a big moment. It signifies that the players will not be far behind. A big smile on the young lady's face. It's a big moment as she is greeted by the Philippe Chatrier crowd behind me. So while the balls get settled and we await the players, let's take another look in on court. Suze Longo and Diego Schwartzman in a spot of bother now, 2-5, so he's serving to stay in this second set. It's always a difficult task for Diego Schwartzman, especially against some of the likes of Stefanos Tsitsipas, who's so comfortable on the surface. Tsitsipas, a finalist here at Roland-Garros. Clay, probably the best surface of Tsitsipas, and really finding it difficult to find a way through. Mentioned that it's good for him to be at the third round stage. It was always going to be tough. Tsitsipas has the head-to-head over Diego Schwartzman. He's won the last few meetings between the two. And Tsitsipas, who parted with his coach, Mark Philippoussis, shortly ahead of the tournament, just working still and now with Father Apostolos, just settling himself into this tournament and really quietly going about his business. He could possibly end the tournament as world number one. And with a set point here, which he takes to close out a 2-set love, he is still on course for staying in the running for that and also booking his place in the round of 16. But to the night session, to the tunnel, and to the introduction of the players out onto Philippe Chatrier, starting with the Canadian Denis Shapovalov.
Tournoi Messieurs Roland-Garros 2023. Premier jour rentré sur le court et 32e mondial, déjà demi-finaliste en Grand Chelem. Il est canadien, voici Denis Shapovalov. Il rentre accompagné par Sandro. Et ils sont opposés à celui qui n'a que 20 ans, déjà numéro 1 mondial, vainqueur d'un tournoi du Grand Chelem, l'Espagnol Carlos Alcaraz.
Wow, what a reception for the world number one, the 20-year-old Carlos Alcaraz, already a firm favourite in the French capital and here at these championships. And I cannot wait for this matchup. Remember, it's the first time these two have met. It's intriguing. If Shapovalov can bring some of his best to Philippe Chatrier, it's going to be a very entertaining night of tennis. And you can follow it, as always, via the Roland-Garros social media channels or ball-by-ball commentary on radio. Roland-Garros with the build-up taking place right now. Thank you once again for your company. It's lovely to have it, and we hope to have it again over the weekend, starting with tomorrow night, Saturday, at the same time. Bye for now.